Welcome back, dear students. After duplication, the last point is the genetical effect of duplication. Now we are going to study inversion. So inversion is the rotation of a part of a chromosome or a set of genes by 180 degree on its own axis. So inversion does not involve loss or gain of any genetic material or genes, but simply the rearrangement of the gene sequence. So inversion is one of the structural aberration or a change or abnormality that is detected during the cell division. By definition, inversion involves a rotation of a part of a chromosome or a set of genes by 180 degree on its own axis. It essentially involves occurrence of breakage and reunion. So for the rearrangement of the gene sequences, when a set of genes are rotated by 180 degree on its own axis, there is occurrence of breakage and reunion. So to carry out the rotation of a part of a chromosome by 180 degree, the breakage and reunion was found to be essential. The net result of inversion is neither a gain nor a loss in the genetic material, but simply a rearrangement of the gene sequence. An inversion can occur in the following way. Here we are going to take the example of the segment of the chromosome. Suppose that the normal order of segments within a chromosome is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the break occurs in the regions 2, 3 and 5, 6, and broken piece is reinserted in reverse order. So here I am going to explain this with the help of a diagram. So in this diagram, the chromosome segment has been seen having a gene order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So in this case, a two breaks has been occurs, one between 2 and 3 and other between 5 and 6. So due to the breakage of the chromosome, here that the broken piece is reinserted in a reverse order. So due to this, the order become 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, 6. So here the break occurs here at this position, and the broken piece has been reinserted in a reverse order. So we get a gene order of 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, 6. Okay. So this result in an inverted chromosome having segments 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, 6. So what happened during inversion? A part of the chromosome that has been first subjected to the breakage and it is reinserted in a reverse order where the sequence of the gene has been changed. So in this case, the normal sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and the breakage occur between the gene 2 and 3 and 5 and 6. Now due to the breakage, this broken piece has been reinserted through this chromosome but in a reverse order. So here the 5 occurs first, then 4 and then 3. Now the gene order is 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, 6. So this is the case of inversion where the net result of inversion is neither a gain nor a loss in the genetic material but simply a rearrangement of the gene sequence. And the inversion essentially involves occurrence of breakage and reunion. So for reunion of the gene sequences or the piece of chromosome, the breakage is essential. So the inversion involves a rotation of a part of a chromosome or a set of genes by 180 degree on its own axis following breakage and reunion. So this we studied with the help of a example having a chromosome that possesses the gene order 1 2 3 4 5 6, and after inversion the product form having the middle gene sequences that has been changed, it is completely rotated by 180 degree on its own axis. So the gene order is 1 5 4 3 6. Now an inversion heterozygote has one chromosome in the inverted order and its homology in the normal order. So when such type of inversion occur in only one chromosome of a homologous pair, such type of inversion are inversion heterozygote. So in only one homologous chromosome this inversion has been happened. Suppose this is an example, this is the homologous pair having a gene order A B C D E, but in one of the homologous chromosome pair the gene order has been changed due to the inversion. Here the breakage occur after A or in between AB, and another break has been occur in between D and E, and the middle genes, that is the BCD, has been inserted in this chromosome by rotating it by 180 degree on its own axis. So the gene order now becomes A D C B E. So this is an inverted chromosome and this one is the normal chromosome. Previously both these chromosomes are homologous chromosome, but in one of this homologous chromosome pair the inversion has been occurred. So due to this the gene order has been changed to ADCBE. Now when these two homologous chromosomes start to pair during the meiotic prophase first, an inversion loop has been formed during synapsis or pairing. The location of the inverted segment can be detected cytologically in the meiotic nuclei of such heterozygote by the presence of an inversion loop. So here we can see the inversion loop in the paired chromosome. So what happened here, this B has been changed its position to the second last. So due to this, to make the pairing, this B has been occur first. So for this an inversion loop has been made. Due to this the B come in front of B in the normal chromosome. So both inverted chromosome and normal chromosome, the gene has come to in front of each other. Here also B to B, C to C, D to D. So for this to happen, this inverted segment has to be form a inversion loop. So due to this the pairing has been occur between the normal and the inverted chromosome. So this pairing, during this pairing an inversion loop has been formed. The location of the centromere relative to inverted segment determines the genetic behavior of the chromosome. If the centromere is not included in the inversion, it is called paracentric inversion. So in this case, this is the normal chromosome where the breakage occur between B and C and E and F. Okay. Now due to the breakage, this broken piece has been inserted in a reverse order. So due to this the gene order has been changed, but during this inversion the centromere is not included in the inversion. So such type of inversion it is called as paracentric inversion, where the centromere is not included in the inversion. Okay. So as a result of inversion, it is a type of inversion where the gene order should be changed, but here one difference is that the centromere is not involved, so it is called paracentric inversion. But in the another type, the break occur between A and B where there is a position of centromere, and another break occur in between D and E. So this broken piece has been reinserted in a reverse order where the centromere is included in the inversion, so it is called as pericentric inversion. So the difference between paracentric and pericentric inversion is that in paracentric inversion the centromere is not included in the inversion, while in pericentric inversion, when inversion involves or includes the centromere, it is called pericentric inversion. Okay. So these are the two types of inversion, and cytologically the inversion has been detected by the formation of a inversion loop. When the inversion occur in only one chromosome of a homologous pair, then such type of inversions are inversion heterozygote. And when inversion occur in both the chromosomes of a homologous pair, then such inversions are inversion homozygotes. But here an inversion heterozygote has been formed because the inversion occur in only one chromosome of a homologous pair. So when this homologous chromosome pair start to pair or synapsis during zygote stage of the prophase first, then it forms a inversion loop. So that inversion loop is cytologically detected. So when the centromere is involved in the inversion, then it is pericentric inversion. When the centromere is not included in the inversion, it is paracentric inversion. So these are the two types of inversion. Homologous chromosomes with identical inversions in each member pair and undergoes normal distribution in meiosis. So this is the case of inversion homozygote, where both the homologous chromosomes are undergoes identical inversion. They normally pairs and undergoes normal distribution in meiosis. However, crossing over in inversion heterozygotes produce deletion, duplications and other curious cytological configuration. So when the inversion occur in one chromosome of a homologous pair, then such type of inversion are inversion heterozygotes. So when the inversion heterozygotes are pair with its homologous chromosome, it forms a inversion loop, and when the crossing over occurs in inversion heterozygote, it produces deletion, duplication and other curious configuration. So one by one we are going to study this crossover configuration in the inversion heterozygote, both paracentric inversion heterozygote and pericentric inversion heterozygote. So one by one we are going to study the crossing over in pericentric and paracentric inversion. So the first case is the crossing over in pericentric inversion. This pericentric inversion has been characterized with the fact that here the centromere has been included in the inversion. Crossing over in a heterozygote pericentric inversion results in deletion, duplications and also produces rod shaped acrocentric chromosome. Okay, so what happened here, this is the homologous pair of a chromosome where the gene order is A, B, C, D. In between B and C, the centromere has been located. Here the centromere has been present. When the pericentric inversion has been occur in one chromosome of a homologous pair, then such type of inversion is a pericentric inversion heterozygote. Here the two breaks has been occur between A and B and again C and D. Then this middle portion that is inserted into the chromosome but in a reverse order, so that the gene order has been changed to A, C, B, D. When such chromosomes are paired during the meiotic prophase, where this inversion loop has been formed and that has been detected cytologically. So when the crossing over has been takes place between the normal chromosome and the inversion heterozygote chromosome, then due to this a deletion, duplication and it also produces the acrocentric chromosome. The first meiotic anaphase figures appears normal, but the two chromatids of each chromosome usually have arms of unequal length depending upon where the crossing over occurs. So in this case, if you see, this is the one chromosome. Here the gene order is A, B, C, D. Here is an inverted chromosome. So due to the inversion, the gene order has been changed to A, C, D, B. So when these chromosomes are paired during meiotic prophase first, it forms a inversion loop. So when after pairing the crossing over occurs, and as a result of crossing over, the product forms are here A, B, C, D. Here is the centromere. After B, A, B, C, D, this is the normal. Now here this is the second chromosome. Here A, B. Now this C get exchange with this black chromosome C and A. Again we can see here this A, B, centromere, then C from this black chromosome and again A. Okay, now another case here, if you start with this A, here is the inversion, then C, centromere of this black chromosome, again B gene from this black chromosome and D gene. So this is the A, C, D, B. Okay, now and another one remaining chromosome here, if you start it from this D, then B from the same black chromosome, centromere, here is the exchange of the chromosome segment between two non-sister chromatids, so we say it is a crossing over. Again here D, here D, B, now the crossing over C and D from this green chromosome, C and D. So as a result of which we get ABCD, it is the normal. Another one is AB, black C, A, AB, C, A, then D, here D, B, C, A of the same chromosome, here is the DBCA. Now here D, B, centromere from the black chromosome, then C from green chromosome and D from green chromosome. Here is the case. So here four types of products we get. One is the normal. Here in this case we found that this A has been repeated, so it is a duplication of A arm. Something is missing. Which is the missing here? D is missing, so there is a deletion D arm. In this case here the sequence is DBCD. Here is the D occurs two times, so it is a duplication of a D arm and again deletion of a arm. Now the last product, here all the genes are present A, B, C, D, but the gene sequence is different. What happened here? This A, B, C, D, that is normally has to be occur, but here this middle portion has been inverted. Here the sequence is DBCA, so it is an inversion product. So as a result of crossing over in pericentric inversion heterozygote, one normal product has been formed, two are deleted and duplicated, and one is the inversion product. So half of the meiotic products are non-functional and inviable due to the presence of duplication and deletion in them, while the other half of the gametes are functional. One quarter have normal chromosome while one quarter have inverted arrangement. Okay, so four types of products has been formed, of which 25 are normal, 50% are deleted and duplicated, while 25% are inverted product. So this is the case of crossing over in pericentric inversion. So pericentric inversion heterozygote results into 25% normal product, 50% duplication and deleted products, and 25% are inverted product. Okay, so this is the case of crossing over in pericentric inversion. Now we are going for crossing over in paracentric inversion. So in paracentric inversion, the centromere is not included in the inversion, and when the paracentric inversion occur in only one chromosome of a homologous pair, then it is a paracentric heterozygote, paracentric inversion heterozygote. A crossing over in the inverted region of a heterozygous paracentric inversion produces a dicentric chromosome having a two centromere, which forms a bridge from one pole to the other pole during first anaphase of meiosis. So what happened here? This is the homologous chromosome pair. The gene order is, the centromere occurs first and the gene order is A, B, C, D, E. When the two breaks has been occur, one in between A and B and another between D and E, that broken base has been reinserted in a reverse order. So the gene order has been changed to A, D, C, B, E. So this is an inversion heterozygote where the centromere is not involved. So we say it is a paracentric inversion heterozygote. So when these chromosomes are paired during meiotic prophase first, it forms a inversion loop. So this loop we can see in the prophase first of meiosis that has been detected cytologically. When the crossing over occurs after pairing, then it forms a dicentric chromosome that has been extended from one pole to the other pole in the form of a bridge. So this is a bridge. These are the two centromeres. So this whole chromosome is a dicentric chromosome. So what happened here? This is the case where the crossing over occur. Due to this, a chromosome form is A, B, C, D. It is the normal here. The another one, this is the centromere. The chromosome arm has been attached to this centromere. Now here A, B. Now the C from the green portion. Here A, B, C, D, E and A. Okay. Again here A, B. Now the C from this green portion, D from this green portion. Now here it has been occur here and A and again the centromere. Now this is the chromosome A. Now D from the same chromosome, C, B and E. Okay, so here we occur. Now the remaining portion is the here E, B, D, C. Now here dark portion D and E. Here there is no centromere. It is a acentric fragment that has been lost during the chromosome movement during the cell division, because the spindle fibers should attach to the centromere, and this segment or the fragment, it is acentric, it is without centromere, so it do not move to the either pole. So this bridge has been ruptured somewhere along its length, and resulting fragment will contain duplication and or deletion. So here if we say the bridge has been break randomly here, so we get four types of product. Here A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, it is a normal chromosome. This A, B, C, D, this is also, this is here A, B, C, D, one thing is missing, one gene is missing, that is the E, it is a deletion product. Here this one is also, it contains only A gene, it is also the deletion product. And the last one ADCBE, it is the inversion product. And this EBCDE, it is acentric fragment, it is without centromere, so it has been lost in the chromosome movement. In this case, acentric fragment without centromere is also formed, and since it usually fails to move to either pole, it is not included in any meiotic products or gametes. Here also half of the meiotic products are non-functional because they are subjected to the deletion. 1/4 are functional with a normal chromosome, 1/4 are functional with inverted chromosome where the inversion has been occurred. Thus heterozygotes for paracentric inversions are highly sterile and produce only parent-like progeny. So this is the case of crossing over in paracentric inversion, where a bridge has been formed from one pole to the other pole during the first anaphase, and this bridge has been break randomly, so it get four types of products, of which half of the products are non-functional due to the deletion, while half of the products are functional, of which 1/4 have normal chromosome while 1/4 are with inverted chromosome. So this dicentric chromosome has been formed due to the crossing over in paracentric inversion heterozygotes. So this is all for today for inversion, both paracentric and pericentric inversion. In the next lecture we will study the translocation, the last point from this inversion, the genetic effects of the inversion. If you compare the karyotype of humans and apes, it reveals that numerous paracentric as well as pericentric inversions in humans as compared to the apes. In female maize plants, dicentric bridges are found to form and they undergoes the bridge breakage fusion cycle. Further, inversion heterozygotes often have mechanical pairing problems in the area of the inversion. This also reduces crossing over and recombinant frequency in the vicinity. So the progeny form are have the more chance of a parental type, and the recombinants are formed in very less frequency. Due to this observation, inversions are called crossover suppressors, because of which the recombinants frequency has been reduced. So they are called as crossover suppressors. However, this reduction in crossing over is not actual reduction in cytological crossing over, but it is the result of lack of recovery of the products of single crossover. So this is all about for the inversion. In the next lecture, we will start the translocation, that is the last structural change or the aberration that has been found in the chromosome with respect to its structure. Here we are dealing with the structural aberrations or structural changes: deletion, duplication, inversion and translocation. Inversion does not involve, there is neither loss nor gain of the genetical material, but simply the rearrangement of the gene sequences. This translocation also does not involve any addition or the loss of genes, but only the rearrangement of the genes. Okay, so this is all for today. Thank you. Stay home, be safe.